What's good? What's good? Is your boy Kross. I hope everyone is having a great ass fucking day, man. Great fucking day, bro. So as stated, no more hip hop content. Don't come over here looking for me doing little baby reviews or whatever. A classic Tupac album. None of that. It's not happening here. I'm going to talk about metal if it has anything to do with music. You know, if I do discuss hip hop, it's about underground artists that I know personally, you know, and that's it, or my own music, you know. And when I mean underground artists, I'm talking about people like I know, not just some random guy. Like, you know, I'm just closing it with that because I don't care about anything else, honestly. I support my bros and sis, whoever's making music in that realm, though. I will always support them for life. But I'm not supporting the mainstream. I'm not supporting the industry in regards to hip hop. I don't care about it, you know. The whole point is to try to build your own industry, you know, and that's what we're doing. But anyway, let's get to the metal stuff. So we're gonna discuss racism in metal. That's what we're gonna do, because this is something that I see that's controversial. I haven't seen it like that, you know, coming up. I didn't really care to look into it, but being that I'm on YouTube discussing things in regards to metal, I think this is something I should touch because it would be an interesting perspective coming from me, an actual like black person that has been listening to metal for about 19, 20 years, right? So here's my perspective on it, right? I don't care. And it could be a bias because my own people shitted on me, and with nigger activity, not, you know, I'm keeping it a buck, doing you know acts of violence, you know, just making fun of who I was as an individual, my family, you know, just a bunch of things that took place. So I could have a bias, but even before I went through that, I was called racial slurs before, and I still didn't care. So I kind of don't feel like that's it, and that's my empirical evidence to substantiate that. But I truly don't care, you know. I feel like everybody is entitled to express themselves in whatever way they feel, you know. As long as they're not physically harming anybody. That's the way that I see it, you know. I remember times like, you know, I'm listening to a Dimebag Darrell solo and people was like trying to school me on him, and it's like, I already know what the fuck he said. I don't give a shit. You know, Phil and Somo with the saluting in the crowd, I don't care. That's his belief system. That's what he wants to do. That's a part of him. That's what he grew up as, you know. So I don't care, you know. And if I didn't like it, I just wouldn't listen to it. Like, if it bothered me that much, I wouldn't listen to it, because I am not the owner of this genre. There is no owner to these genres, and there's no boundary to art. You're entitled to say whatever you want. Now, there's intense things that and this normally comes from the black metal fans that I avoid. You know, I don't really care for it as much, but you know, just in general, like with metal, back then in the 80s, a lot of bands were kind of racist, and that's what it is. And before getting into metal, I mean, if you didn't do your research, that's on you. I did my research. Like, I already knew what I was getting myself into. And like I said, I don't care, you know. That's how they want to express themselves. You don't know how that affects them, you know. Me, for instance, my music, a lot of my music, I'm bashing my own people, you know, the gangbangers and, you know, the people that are classified as the N-word, you know. I bash them all the time. I just made a track bashing them, a drill, and it was a New York drill track. I just made a track bashing them, you know. So it's an art, and I would get upset if somebody told me, "Oh, I can't talk about, a race." No, and as I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say on my music. Who the fuck you like? You know what I'm saying? I'm the one paying for my studio time. I'm the one that took the time to write these lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Leave me the fuck alone. Don't tell me what to say on my music. You know what I'm saying? So that has to be applied without bias, unfortunately. Of course, you can't get too extreme, in my opinion. That now, if we're getting too extreme, like I said, like certain black metal bands is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're a metalhead, I think anybody that was exploring metal understands what black metal is at this point. But like I said, my songs, I bash my own people, a specific demographic of them. Like I said, the gangsters and the street niggas. I don't care for them. I don't like them. I hate them. So I bash them, I came from that cloth too. I went into the streets, and that's exactly why I hate them, because of the influence of it and what it did to me in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them. So of course there's respectful individuals in that, realm. The same way when you run into a metalhead, a white metalhead or whatever, and they may not have interacted with too many black people, and then, whatever, they somehow got cool, and they're just like, oh, you're cool for this type of guy. A lot of people take offense to that, but me, I just don't care. I don't think that deep into it. I understand the social psychology behind it and everything. I just don't look that deep into it. I don't take it that serious. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, because it doesn't matter. What does it do for me? Does it pay my bills? Oh, does it make me have a heart attack? Does it it doesn't do anything. It has no substance. It's just communication. And if somebody gets along with you and they like you, they find you different. Obviously, if the communication maintains, things will get even better. You may not ever hear that again. You know what I'm saying? The same way, when we look at specific, as far as black people, right? We'll look at specific things going on with white people. There might be triggers for us to have this framing effect of how we view a particular white individual, you know what I'm saying? And it may turn us off, and we might look at them in a racial slur kind of context, right? But we don't speak on that, and we do that to a lot of different races. You know what I'm saying? White people do it too. Everybody does it. We all have racism in our culture, and you cannot eliminate it. You cannot eliminate it. You got people that was raised a certain way. I feel like as long as they're not physically harming you, it should not, it should not be a big deal. So as far as racism and metal, I don't pay it no mind. Even if they say something racial in a song, I may not listen to it again, but am I gonna go on a rant and be like, no, Black Lives Matter, no, fuck it, no, fuck that, bro. I'm just gonna laugh at it, because 9 times out of 10, I usually laugh when a racial slur is being thrown at me, and the times that, it was people that was kind of I was environments where people were kind of observing me, and they start to get a little friendly, and then I get friendly, and then next thing you know, we're making derogatory jokes towards each other, because guess what? Tough skin. That's how you survive. That's how you adapt. You have to adapt to what's going on. Doesn't mean that you have to compromise yourself, but you just have to adapt to life. You know what I'm saying? You have to, I knew what metal was about, and you know what I'm saying, and then you have bands that go against it. I'm in support of that, and this doesn't mean that I support racism. I support people expressing themselves. I will never share a racist track towards my race, or any other race, point blank period. But if that's how somebody expresses themselves, shit, in my opinion, I feel like they should make like some type of censorship kind of thing where it's like, all right, they're gonna be talking about this, put it in categories, like a little rating system or something, so people could just shut the fuck up and move on with their lives, Like, I appreciate people, like going against it, but the problem is the victim stance mentality has to be eliminated. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking annoying after a while, bro. Like I was a whole activist and I still don't complain as much as y'all. Like it's just ridiculous. Like I understand if you were targeted, that's different. But just if people's talking in general about whatever, you don't even know if they might have a black friend in the corner that supports that, and they might have like a specific group of, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Just allow people to express themselves however the fuck they feel. That might be saving their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, like we take life too serious, with certain things, like, but the things that matter we don't appreciate, like loving yourself. Because if you loved yourself, if you were in tune with yourself, you would not be concerned with shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even bother you. That shit would not matter at all. I don't see how it would matter if you understand who you are. Like, why am I worried about being called the N-word? And I wasn't even a part of slavery. I wasn't even born, bro. None of my immediate family was born. So why the fuck do I care? You know what I'm saying? That is some old shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I just don't care at all. Like, about... Probably would feel different if I was born in, like, the 1920s or something. Now, that's a different story. But I exist right now. I was born in 1990. Of September 2nd. From my knowledge, I wasn't around for any type of racism like that. So, how can I be affected by it? And why would I invest my time in searching for insults about my own race or even me? Why would I go somewhere where I know I'm going to hear some shit I don't like? And then try to change it or cancel it. It doesn't make fucking sense, bro, And like I said, I'm not supporting racism. I'm not. It's just, we can't be biased when we talk about, freedom of speech and stuff like that. Like, it should be a boundary on it, yeah. But, it is what it is, bro. Like, just come on, guys. Like, y'all take the spirit out of metal, because metal is a bunch of outcasts that want to hear something that they don't get to hear all the time, like, that's what it was for me too. And with dope instrumentals, like just dope content, I don't want somebody to water it down by trying to. No, and if they do try to water it down, I just leave them alone. I'm just like, I don't support that, But I will listen. I had some of my favorite bands that I listen to say racist things, and like I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me because I don't call myself an N. You know what I'm saying? I use the N word too. So, and people like to put a bias on that too. It's like, it's the same word, bro. It came from that era. That's it. There's nothing you could do to defend yourself. Like, y'all try to say, and that's another thing. Like, people get mad when white people say the N-word. Who gives a fuck, bro? Bro? I have white friends that are hood. White friends that have nothing to do with the hood. That's just whatever. I have a whole different plethora of friends that are white. And if any of them called me the N-word, and some have, like, nigga, come on, man. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't even isolate the N-word. I don't even think in my head like, oh, he just said the N-word. I don't even think about that, because if you're my friend, you're my friend. If you can't speak the way that you want to speak, to me, that means that you're not my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the fuck? I called my white friends the H word, you know, with the KY at that, and I've done that. I'm playing around. That's what we do. It's life, man. It's life, bro. It's just life. This is all it is, man. Black comedians make fun of white people, Asian people. What? Like, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. Y'all want to place emotion on it and isolate it into whether it's derogatory or is it whatever to your standards. And nobody cares about your personal perspective on a genre that's meant for everybody, you know? So that's pretty much all I gotta say on that, man. Like, as I said, I don't care about racism in metal. Like, I never did. I never cared about racism. You know, a lot of my YouTube friends on here will tell you, like, yeah, Kross doesn't care about none of that. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's not your regular dude, you know? Like, he does not care about racism. Like, you know? And I fought for the cause for you know, the whole George Floyd thing. I fought for that, you know? And I still don't care about racism. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. But I hope y'all have a great one. I'm out of here. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm out. Now, this thing